What's up, guys? Welcome back to the DB Room. I'm Glover Quinn, former Pro Bowl defensive back, now kind of your coach here in the DB Room. So today we are talking cover 4. Yes, we did cover 1, we did cover 2, we did cover 3. Now we're gonna get to cover 4. Now the cool thing about cover 4 is it's probably the most versatile coverage and probably one of the most used coverage in the whole entire NFL. Okay, so it's a lot to cover. It's probably going to take multiple videos to get all of cover 4 covered, but we're going to go into it. We're going to get it done. You are in the DB room. Let's get to it. All right, so let's take a look at this cover 4 right here. Okay, let's take a look at this. Let's get our pen ready. All right, let's take a look at this cover 4. All right, so we always start out, look at our personnel. Okay, we got 21 personnel. Let's identify. We got our 1 back, 2 back, so that's our 2. We got our 1 tight end. That gives us our 21. Then we got 2 wide receivers to give us our 5 eligible. Okay, so we got that. We know that that is 21 personnel. Let's talk our close call. Tight end to the right side of the offense. That'll make it a close left. Defensively, we got our Sam linebacker and our strong safety to the left side of the defense. Okay, so cover 4 is one of the most versatile coverages because you can do so many different things inside of the coverage that could give offense fits. You know, it's one of my favorite coverages. I love cover 4, probably my all-time favorite coverage, just because of the flexibility and the versatility inside the coverage. Okay, so let's just talk these responsibilities. You know, we went through cover 1 where we had, you know, 1 guy deep that gave us our cover 1. We went through cover 2 where our safeties had these halves. They were responsible for half of the field. That was our cover 2. And we went through cover 3 where we had a middle safety. We had an outside third corner, another outside third corner, and then we had a drop-in safety giving us 3 guys deep for our cover 3. Now we're in cover 4. So yes, you guessed it. We're going to have a corner responsible for that quarter of the field, corner responsible for that quarter of the field, safety responsible for that quarter, and another safety responsible for that quarter of the field. Okay, that's why it's called cover 4, because we're playing quarters this time. We're not playing thirds, we're not playing halves, we're playing quarters. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Okay, let's talk about these underneath guys. Okay, these underneath guys, these Sam, Will, and Mike linebacker, those guys are playing your underneath part of the coverage, and they are playing quarter flats and hook and things of that nature. It's not like cover 2 where we have 5 guys underneath, or cover 3 where we have 4 guys underneath. This is cover 4. We really only have 3 guys underneath. Okay, so we're going to talk about how these guys play. Okay, so we're going to talk the number system. These guys are making their matches based off the number system. So number system goes like this, starting from the Z wide receiver. He's the farthest to the right side, so he is the number 1 to that side. The tight end will be number 2. This halfback will be number 3. Okay, to the other side, this X receiver will be number 1. Fullback will be number 2. Okay, so we'll leave those numbers there just so you can have some reference. Okay, so this Sam backer right here is playing quarter flat off of number 2. So this is his number 2. Okay, this Will is playing the same thing, quarter flat off number 2. Okay, this is his number 2. This Mike is playing hook off number 3. Okay, so that is what those guys are doing responsibility wise. Let's look at how it works out in the scheme. Okay, so if we look at the scheme, and what I mean by that is if this fullback goes to the flat, this Will goes with him. That's his number 2. If this tight end goes to the flat, this Sam backer goes with him. That's his number 2. This Mike is playing over number 3. If he comes this way, the Mike goes this way. If he goes this way, the Mike goes that way. Okay? That is what it means when we say those guys are playing quarter flat or quarter hook off of number 3 and number 2. Okay? So those guys are playing, and as we all know, it can change, right? It can interchange. If this guy comes here and this guy goes here, he becomes his new number 2. Okay? He becomes a new number 3. The fullback becomes a number 3 for the Mike. And then the Sam number 2 stays the same with the tight end. Okay? If they lined up in a near set, okay? Now, with this near set, we got to have some communication between our Mike and our Sam, okay? Why? Because this guy can go in and this guy can go out and create a 2-3 switch, okay? So we're just playing it in and out, basically the same way we did it in man-to-man coverage. Playing it in and out. We're saying, hey, if this guy go in, he's going to become your number 3. You're going to take him. I'm going to take him to the flat, okay? It's kind of how it works. If this guy stay in, the halfback stay in the block, and this guy runs all the way across the field, he will eventually become the will number 2 because the halfback didn't go out. Then the fullback will be the Sam's number 2, and then the halfback will be number 3 for the Mike, okay? So you really just, as long as you can count 1, 2, and 3 underneath, you should be good, okay? And you always got to be worried about who can become my number 2, who can become my number 3, okay? That's really all you have to worry about. All right, so we talk about match or zone. When I say match or zone, what I mean is underneath, those guys can play a matchup or they can play it in a zone concept. And what I mean is, when we talk our zones, we always talk playing high to low, right? So if this guy go to the flat, this is his man. He got to go with him. If he's playing a match concept, he's going to match that guy, and he's going to really go get him. If he's playing a zone concept, he's just going to kind of hover over the top of him and wait for the quarterback to throw it and come high to low. Same way over here. If this guy go to the flat in a match concept, he's coming to get him. In a zone concept, he's just hovering over the top, waiting for the quarterback to throw the ball. Then you drive and make the tackle, okay? That's the difference in a match concept and a zone concept, okay? I've been in schemes where we played match. I've been in schemes where we played zone, okay? Just the coordinator's preference, okay? But that is what you have when you have cover 4 underneath, okay? So now let's talk about one of the cool things about cover 4 and how we play it in the back end, okay? Let's talk about how we play it in the back end. All right, so these safeties are playing 2 to 1, okay? 2 to 1, okay? So let's put these numbers back up here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So this safety right here, his number 2 is in the backfield, okay? So he's basically a free guy. So if he's playing 2 to 1, if my 2 is in the backfield, now I'm basically working with this corner and we can double team that guy, okay? This safety is playing 2 to 1. Well, he has a 2 in the tight end, so he has to read this guy. Anything short, we said the Sam will have him, right? Anything short, the Sam has him. So he has number 2 vertical, okay? If number 2 releases and go vertical, the safety will pick him up. If number 2 do anything short, then the safety's read is 2 to 1. So 2 will cancel out and he will look to double team number 1, okay? Corners' jobs are outside and over the top of number 1. That's the corner's job, okay? The corner should never have to make a play on an inside breaking route from the wide receiver in quarters, okay? They should always have somebody on their inside, either the Sam or the strong safety or the Mike or the Will or the free safety. Somebody should always be to their inside, okay? So they should be playing outside and over the top. They run a deep post, that is the corner's play, okay? They run vertical, that is the corner's play, okay? Not the safety. We'll talk about that. The safeties are inside and underneath number 1, okay? They are playing 2 first, going to number 1, okay? So that is a little bit of it in base. I'm gonna show one thing. I'm gonna show one more thing, okay? Check this out. It's another thing I like about quarters, okay? Check this out. We can make it look like cover 3, right? We can walk this safety down, showing a weak side rotation, put that safety in the middle, and now it looks like cover 3, right? Looks like we got 8 guys in the box, and we're playing cover 3 when we're really still playing quarters. And the reason why we can do that is because, what do we talk about? This corner has number 1. This safety has 2 to 1. Well, they're basically double teaming this guy. And the safety knows I only have him if he comes inside, if he comes in here. So I'm going to be underneath this guy. So I can come down here and show like I'm just playing in the box, because I know I just got to make a play on him right in here where I'm at anyway, right? This safety knows I only got this guy vertical, right? I only got it vertical, and this Sam has him anywhere underneath. So he's going to put hands on that guy so he don't get a free release on me, okay? So at the snap of the ball, all I got to do is pedal this way, and now I can cover that guy if he goes vertical. But pre-snap wise, it can look like cover 3, okay? It can look like cover 3, and we said in cover 3, we are built to stop the run. We're susceptible in the pass game, okay? Well, if we show cover 3 and they think that they can throw the ball on us, but we're really playing cover 4, we're gonna benefit from that, because now cover 4, we can double team those guys and help us out in pass coverage, okay? Let's take a look at it in 11 personnel, because it's a little more, a couple more things that we can do, a couple more things that I want to show you. All right, so now we're in 11 personnel, okay? 11 personnel, you can see we have our nickel over here, okay? You can see him lined up over the slot, and we are in a far set, okay? So let's do our same things. We got number 1, we got number 2, we got 1, 2, 3, okay? 1, 2, and 3. So how we're gonna play it? This guy is outside and over the top of number 1. Same thing for him, outside and over the top of number 1. This guy is number 2, vertical. This guy right here is playing number 3, this Mike right here. This nickel is inside of number 2, quarter flat. If 2 go to the flat, the nickel goes with him. If 2 goes vertical, the nickel pushes through because he's going to the safety, right? He's going to the safety vertical, okay? So this safety, your read is a little different, okay? You're not going 2 to 1 initially in trips. You are going 2 to 3, okay? 2 to 3. Why? This is why. Because if this right here is a good tight end, what do we say this guy's going? He's going 2 to 1, okay? So if they got a Calvin Johnson, Julio Jones, a major receiver backside, we're not going to leave that corner one-on-one. We're going to double that guy, okay? So what happens when you're playing the Kansas City Chiefs and they got, say, you know, Tyreek Hill or somebody back here, this fast guy that you want to make sure you don't give up a deep play, and then you got Travis Kelce right there, okay? That leaves this Mike one-on-one with Travis Kelce in the middle of the field. And you don't want that, okay? You don't want that. So what we're going to do is our safety now, you're going to play 2 to to 3, okay? Same exact reads, okay? You read number 2. If number 2 goes anywhere shallow, instead of looking to 1, you're gonna slide in and help on number 3, okay? So now, this Mike knows I got this guy anywhere short. If he goes vertical, I should pick up help from my safety, okay? Another thing that we can do, okay? Say, for instance, you don't have a monster on the backside, okay? Say you don't have a monster on the backside. We can do what we used to call it facts. You can call it whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, this is what's going to happen, okay? This free safety is free on the backside because he doesn't have a clear number 2. This guy's in the backfield. We're not expecting him to go vertical unless by game plan we know who this guy is and how they like to use him, okay? So we're expecting this guy to be free. So we're telling this guy, hey, this is not an animal on the backside. What we want you to do, we want you to give him your body. So line up right here, but put your eyes over here and help this Mike out, okay? Because if they're gonna run all go, they're gonna see it as too high middle field open, and when middle field open, they're gonna bend it to the middle of the field, okay? He's gonna bend that thing in the middle of the field. So if this safety just sits right here, he's gonna run right to him. He's gonna run right to him, okay? So that's what you wanna do. You wanna give this guy your body. If you line up right here, the quarterback knows I can't throw the ball right there because this guy is standing right there. Give him your body, give him your eyes. You see the quarterback looking here? Boom. That is an interception waiting to happen, okay? That's a little more detailed type of things, okay? But the gist of cover 4, like I said, it's gonna take multiple videos because I love cover 4. You can probably feel and hear the excitement. I love cover 4. There's so much into it. It just allows you to play football, okay? You gotta be in tune with what's going on and make calls, okay? Make calls. But the grand scheme of things, corners, you're on top of number 1. Free safeties, you're reading 2 to 1. Strong safeties, you're reading 2 to 1. Corners, you're still over the top. Will backer, you're quarter flat on number 2. Nickel, you're quarter flat on number 2. And then the Mike is hook over number 3, okay? Hook over number 3, okay? Let's go back to 21 personnel, and let me show you how it looks against the run real quick, okay? All right, so we said that these safeties are playing 2 to 1, right? So that's their read, 2 to 1. Well, what happens, this guy doesn't have a number 2, he's in the backfield, right? So he's already kind of cheating here because he's basically double teaming this guy. We know they're in 21 personnel, so we already know this is a run heavy tendency, okay? So this guy's reading 2 to 1. Say this tight end blocks and this receiver blocks. What do you think this guy's gonna do? He's gonna enter into the run game, right? This free safety right here. This guy come off, he blocks. What do you think he's gonna do? He's going to enter into the run game. So when you're playing quarters, you have a 7-man box, but really, if you get good reads, it can play out like a 9-man box. We used to do this all the time when I was in Houston against Jacksonville, okay? It could play out as a 9-man box. These safeties get to coming in and making plays in the run game, okay? So when this happens, corners, you can't fall asleep, okay? Because what's gonna happen is this guy, this receiver, he's gonna come in like he's trying to block this guy, and then he's gonna release and go vertical, okay? And your job is on top of number 1, okay? So you see they try to run those little fake crack and go, okay? They're gonna try to fake like they're blocking this guy, and boom, they want this corner to start looking in the backfield, and then this receiver takes off because they know that nobody is back there, okay? So that's one of the things that you get a lot in quarters. When teams know you play quarters, you're gonna get a lot of double moves. You're gonna get a lot of things like that because they know that you're working together. It's a replace situation, It's a replace type of defense where two guys are working together most of the time. And if one guy doesn't do the right thing, you're going to have a big play, okay? So that's basically it for cover 4 from the basic standpoint of we're playing quarters. Everybody got a quarter of the field, and underneath we're matching up 2-3-2, okay? 2-3-2. Communicate, pass it off, get your matches, and then we're matching up on the back end, okay? We're going to go more in depth in cover 4 because it is one of the most played coverages in the NFL. Everybody runs cover 4 to some degree, so we have to know what cover 4 is. So look forward to the film review. We're going to get into a lot more detail on cover 4. Peace.